Hey, what's up, guys? This is Team Hard Life Captain Alberto here, and we've got some unboxing to do, some reels to spool, and yes, it's a bit of a lot of work to get done in windows that have been given, which is fine by me. I love crunch time, so get rid of some of this peanuts. All right, so we've got an invisible reel. They didn't even mark what color it is or anything. Oh, it's marked on this side. I was like, okay, so what is it? They're playing games with us, man. They're playing games. So, ooh, we got another purple in-house. This is Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers in the house as well. So. Oh, you should have seen his face. Very nice. Oh, yeah. So we're going to be spooling that one up for him. It'll be pretty cool. Very, very nice. Cool deal. All right, so we got another 80 cutter spool there. And you brought the line for it, right? Or
yeah, the box is right. Yeah.
And then we got this reel. Got a MXL MC 2-speed G1 series. Very nice. Okay, got that. This into your box. Yeah, Edgar gave us permission to play with that line to see what kind of line capacity we can get, because you don't need it until the tournament. However, what I want to do is strip it all down, strip my 130 down, and see how much of that will actually fit on the 130. Because if only 1,800 yards fit on an 80, 2,500 yards should fill that one up, which is, like I said, very poor line capacity for a 130. But we also got confirmation from other guys that have used the 130 like that. They too said the same thing, that they had a lot of leftover line. And at first I was thinking, well, maybe they had mislabeled the 130 was 200-pound test. Trying to give them the benefit of the doubt kind of deal, you know what I mean? But after talking to several guys, they were like, no, they've all had the same issue. And maybe it is that. So, I don't know. We'll have to look into that. See something. Where is the typewriter? And then this one, what are we doing with this one, Raj?
Inspecting the line.
Okay, so we're down spooling it, gonna re-spool it?
Yeah.
Very nice. Someone has a cat. Or a dog. I'm gonna do cat. I'm thinking cat. So the hair just a little. Alright. That. And we got a tight line. Also, real quick, I'd like to wish a very happy birthday to Capt.Eric of Team Real Locos. It is his birthday today. He's out there at Choke Canyon. They're fishing the Alligator Gar tournament today, which I know this is pretty special for him, because he's up when you put on a tournament, you're not allowed to fish it kind of deal, just because he didn't want any kind of controversy arising if him or one of his team members won it, so they were never allowed to fish it. Well, since he's no longer, running the tournament or whatever, they've set it up to where he can actually fish it. So he's going to be fishing that, going live for a lot of that. We got tight line braid, 65 pound right there. And then we got chartreuse, 150 pound test, 2,500 yards. So we're putting that on the 80. And that one's going on the purple one, right?
Yes.
There we go. And that's yours. We're waiting for Jay Carmichael's reel to come in. This is his line for his reel. We're going to be doing now, they're sending us another international 30 for that. And actually with his winnings, he went ahead and paid the difference and got him in an Avet 30 wide that we are actually shipping directly to him. So that's pretty cool. That was our last drawing that we did last Friday, or this past Friday. And so that's where we're at. Now let's get to spooling.
Gotta bite, gotta bite. I think I got a lot of stress on my mind. It's a nice day to go. Yeah, I gotta learn. I'ma call the whole team.
Wasn't even recording. I was supposed to be offshore fishing already, but the boat owner has not called, so we don't know if he got in real late or had trouble on the highway. So we're kind of waiting on word of that. Just hope everything's good and he's just tired, you know. Man, it's all under wrapped. Under wrap, guys, means when the outer layers are over your line that you're trying to get out. And there was 2 right there, so let's go and get that out. And you make sure to catch that before you actually deploy your bait, because if not, the under wrap, if you're going fast out there, it'll actually cut your main line off and you lose everything right there because of the under wraps. And if y'all are new to the channel, guys, this is something that we're known for. We can strip down your reels, re-spool them, and while doing so, we check through the line to make sure that it's good to go. Underneath, just because it's already coming through like that. I'm thinking that's Power Pro. Look like a uni to uni. Yeah, it's Power Pro, it's solid braid.
Okay. Can we splice that onto there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can do that. So
how many yards you figure it'll take?
To fill it up?
Yeah.
What pound test is that? 150? 500 to 600.
And the purple one should take what, just under 2,000?
We just did it, and I don't remember offhand. I know we just did a reel with that. I want to say, yeah, I was right at about 18, 19, something like that. But yeah, I mean, we'll spool up the purple one first.
Yeah.
And then whatever's left over, I can tie into this one and go. But obviously, since this is set up like that, we'll go and take it all the way down to the knot to make sure the knot's good to go.
Yes.
And then work our way back up.
That'll work.
The fray right there. I'll find it on the way up. For sure. No, Clorox. No, it's not Clorox. It's, I guess, the smell of the coating that they put on it. But yeah, you could tell that the braid is slipping on there. See all the bumpy action on it? good. You're good. There's the mono. Yeah. Look at that. Still slipping. Well, it did that first one, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, guys, it had mono as a core, and that was just off of reading the line, guys. That is something that comes from years of experience in dealing with this kind of issues. And this is what we got, guys. I'll go and tie a bimini, and then I'll do the knot to the spool. I'm trying to do. That was a little bit of work. Half inch on this side. Tighten this up real quick. So have they heard any news about the sub? Nothing.
It imploded. As far as I know, they said they found some debris from it.
I heard something like that, but then they're trying to say that it imploded like soon after they lost contact.
Yeah.
Now, they also reported that they heard banging. So.
And that was the press. But they said they got ocean sounds that heard the implosion. Mm-hmm. So, as far as the bang, what they were hearing, who knows what that was. But they were saying it imploded.
So basically, they're going to have to prove or find the wreckage.
Exactly.
And that will determine, okay, so did it implode, like they said, right after they lost communication? Or did it implode as it hit the ground, or being way down there for the extended period of time or whatever? Because I'm pretty sure they have a...
like a little black box?
I don't know if about a black box, but I'm thinking more of like a time limit of which they can be under the pressure for X amount of hours or something like that. Yeah. But if they have it for 96 hours or whatever for air, more than likely their time underwater for that time can be, a lot longer than that. But
and a lot less too. Like I said, when they were saying they were still alive, that they heard banging and stuff, they were saying, they only have so much of time, depending how they're, if they're going into panic mode, they get less time because they're sucking in more air.
Yep. And saying that's where the banging really raises a question, because yes, if you remain calm and all of that, you're not going to use as much oxygen. However, if you're banging around and stuff, you're wasting energy, you're using more oxygen, and that shows that they were still alive when they claimed that they'd already imploded, kind of deal. Like, obviously, this is my thoughts. The boat that was connected to them or whatever would have been able to register that an implosion had happened. Because that's a sound that, like you said, carries for miles and miles and miles. And I'm pretty sure they had sonar, they had whatever. They could have been able to tell that happened immediately. Just my thoughts. I don't know nothing about that, but I've seen it all in movies. They got. They can hear guys coughing or whatever on a boat or on a sub. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure they have that kind of equipment, especially if they're sending guys down.
Well, they should.
They should. I don't know.
Remember, this millionaire built the sub technically himself. All the experts he hired, he fired. And they were saying all the parts for the sub was kind of off the shelf.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Well, this wasn't the first time that they'd also gone down with
No,
it
it's
too.
not. And
So-
other passengers talked how bad it was.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't really followed all of that, but it still raises a lot of questions. Especially, you know, when they claim they heard banging. Well, to me, that's pretty smart because obviously they didn't have no way to track the sub. So by banging on it, gives them echolocation to tell them exactly where they're at, and or if they knew Morse code, which most people that are on boats would be in tuned with that or underwater,
At
because
least SOS.
and SOS, yes. You know, so it's just there's a lot of questions that are going to haunt for a long time with this kind of deal, and prayers going out to their families and stuff like that. I just, you know, me and the wife were talking about it after her therapy session, and it was just, you know, between us, you know, there was a lot of questions, you know, of what is really happened or what has happened, and what they're going to come out with in their final. Okay, this is what we have discovered. This is our proof and all of that. 'Cause obviously, the millionaire or billionaire's family got the funds to make some interesting inquiries and be able to substantiate investing the time to make it happen or to figure it out. You know what I mean? So, all right. So,
My daughter said one of the billionaire's sons was out, I forgot, on vacation somewhere.
yeah. That he went to a concert or something like that.
Yes, a concert. That's what
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
Oh, let's see. I forgot who she said.
Alright, so I've doubled up the braid on here, went around, and now I'm cinching it down. And since it is solid braid and not hollow core, I'm not doing the... Oh, and I tied it the wrong way. I did tie it the wrong way. Damn it. I went the wrong direction. Because as you tighten it up, when it cranks, see how loose it's making it?
Yeah.
That's not the right way. So that's a very important thing, guys, right there. Let me go and zoom in on that. You can see the knot right here. I'm putting pressure on it, and see how it's slipping against the spool? No matter what I do, that means I tied it the wrong way. So, good thing is, I hadn't cinched it all down, so all I'm going to do is untie the knot. Yes, sir, I do make mistakes. But the good thing is I got checkpoints that that I can rely on that'll help me ensure that I don't leave a something like this to a customer have to deal with in the long run. So. All right, guys. While I'm fighting with this line right here, I did get some phone calls, some pretty interesting calls, and I wish they had posted them to the YouTube channel about their questions about the video when I was talking about when you drone out baits and you know what you got to kind of pay attention to and stuff like that. The thing I forgot to mention too is the type of line that you're using can also work against you. If you're using monofilament, you got to remember that's just a huge rubber band that's on your line. So even though you drop your line right in front of you, if there's any kind of current going right or left, that's which way that rubber band is going to stretch. So it's going to create this big old bow that you need to compensate for. And if you don't compensate for that, even though your line is directly in front of you, you know, 500 yards, 200 yards or whatever, your line is going to bend or stretch in the direction that all the water weight that is being pushed against it is going to pull it. So I was like, man, that was actually a really good, question for them to ask. And I should have remembered to mention that in the video about that situation. So, I thank them for the phone call, which is awesome because they were paying attention to the video of the knowledge that I was trying to put out there to help other fishermen. So with that being said, that's the way we work the channel, guys. We run into problems every day. There's something new to learn every day. And for us, we saw it as an opportunity to help other fishermen with that kind of knowledge. And that's what we were doing. And it has really, it sparked a debate with a lot of teams and stuff like that, thinking that just because they had the exact coordinates of the line or where the bait was dropped, that it should substantiate the claim that the lines were straight out. Well, yeah, they could be straight out, but you got to remember, when you drop that bait with the drone, how high up are you? 50 feet, 100 feet, 200 feet? Like, you don't know, I don't know, unless you're flying the drone and it can tell you the height at which you are with them. And with that being said, you got to remember, as things free fall down, they drift in whichever way the wind is blowing them. And obviously, the higher you are, the more drift pattern you're going to have. So that's also something to take in for thought, guys. If you're going to be running drones, you got to look and pay attention to that. How high up are you? How strong is the wind going? How much current is being put on your line and everything? And then also, too, while it's in flight, you don't have a lot of pressure on that line, because all you would do is hold that drone in place. It wouldn't be able to fight against you and the amount of pressure you're putting on the line to, let the drone go out and get to its distance. So right off the bat, you've already added an extra bow in the line, and of course it's going to float downwind. It's not going to go upwind, it's going to go downwind. So that also adds to the bow that you are already going to add on once the line drops from the drone, and you're not going to immediately start cranking because you got to let the weight hit the bottom, and depending on how fast that current is moving, it's going to really move from the position you dropped with the drone. So those phone calls that I had, that was pretty awesome. We had real good talks about it, and like I said, I'm always open-minded to intelligent questions and or concerns, and that really did. I was like, man, I should have thought about that, because that would have just further given more knowledge on that one video about it. So I may have to do a secondary video just to update that kind of deal. But yes, that's just food for thought, guys. Think about that when you are getting ready to drone out baits and stuff like that. And and I know one time I was in Galveston and we had one of our baits droned out, and the wind was going a certain direction, and I actually, when it finally dropped, at the depth it was dropping and the current and all of that, actually ended up in another fisherman's camp. So I followed my line all the way to where it was straight out, and I was in another guy's camp, and I was like, hey man, is it alright if I leave my rod here? And he goes, bro, like they were all casted out, so they really didn't care. But if they would have said, no, we're not okay with that because we're afraid, or maybe we'll cross your line, we don't want to take no chances, then I would have pulled my line in and we would have re-droned it if we could. If not, we had the kayak and we would have re-ran it. You know what I mean? But that is communication that should happen between any fisherman, whether you're droning or you're casting. You communicate with guys to your right and to your left, so that way everybody is working together. And that's real fishing for you guys. Doesn't matter what level of knowledge or what level of fishing you're at, working with your guys to your right and to your left makes everybody's fishing adventure awesome. All right, guys, so now that I've got it set up, zero up my line counter, and you can see this is the Anaconda knot that I actually started with over a decade ago, and I'm bringing it back just because it's solid braid right here, and we're going to be putting it to it. Let me go ahead and get started. Oh man, let's see. There we go. Whoop, neat drag. See, and right there, guys, like I'm pushing on it or I'm pulling on it, and it's not going anywhere. So you can see that I have tied it into the right direction, and it's not going anywhere. Like, look at that, it was embedded in my finger right there. So, yes sir. If I would have pulled any harder, it would have slid in. That's not good. There we go. And there's the bimini right there. Felt something. There it is. Right there. That's what I felt. Let's see. Can y'all see it? All the hairs right there, there, and there. Let's get that onto the microscope. Alright guys, so right here on the right side, to me it looks thicker than the braid over here on the left side. But I'm trying to get it under my microscope to see it, because there you can see it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it kind of deal. Now you can see the line in it. See how thicker it looks right there already compared to over here? I'm going to move it to that left. Okay. So that just looks like dirty braid right there. It just looks like dirtiness. There's where you actually see the blow up of the line. There we go. Okay. So those thicker lines there, that's stuff that I can pull out of there. It's those frayage there that's got to be the carriers or whatever. You see what I'm saying? That's the stuff that doesn't belong in there. And hey, what are you doing? Get out of there. Get that.
See where it gets thicker again.
Hold on, yeah. Yep. Wow. That's a huge difference right there. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, it's missing a carrier or two on that side. Now, I wonder, I'm gonna go a little further deeper into it. I'm gonna add another section of the rest of the line on the spool and see if it stays that thin, because if it does, then I would recommend that the rest of this be trashed, because at that point you have lost 25% of your line strength right there.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's this line up here. There's the second line.
It does look thicker than the one where
Get them closer together. There you go. So this one definitely looks thicker than this one.
Yeah, but see how loose it looks too?
Definitely looks skinnier on this end over here than it does over here.
Yeah.
You can almost measure that out, I bet. My little measuring, I got a metal ruler around here.
3.
Yeah. Yep. 3.5 centimeters. So yeah, that side is definitely thicker than this one. But here is the other strand. That's at 30. You can see there. There it is. Shoot, that's almost at 40. And that's it. What I did was I pressed on the line on both of them like that and pulled them apart to put pressure on them. So yeah, that's some wide variations right there, man. So best thing I'd say is let's cut that section out, do a uni to uni, but you're gonna end up having a knot. That's kind of the drawback of having the solid braid rather than the hollow core.
Let's do that for now, and then hopefully after this first tournament, I'll get some more line.
Okay.
For it.
All right, guys. So I'll show you what I've done. There's the magnifying, and there's that little. There's a lens under there. Sorry. And I had to maneuver this right or left, you know, clockwise or counterclockwise, and then left to right that way to be able to find it. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and cut that section out, and I'm gonna go all the way back to where I know it looks thicker, and we're gonna do a uni to uni. So hopefully that'll ensure that that area that's missing a carrier is no longer in play, kind of deal.
It just needs a booster.
Chicken?
Yeah. Tell them we're getting churches today.
That's what I told him. I said, hey, we're getting chicken. Is that what?
Yep, another one right there.
See, the whole deal was even, when I told him, I said, dude, why did you even do that? Well, I didn't want to get in trouble. How are you going to get in trouble, Bob? That's bad food. There's, you know.
Yeah.
If it tastes funny, don't eat it.
Yeah, because when I took mine, I told dude, this tastes sour.
Mm-hmm. So I was just telling them the story about it, yeah.
Man, I should have ate it too.
I don't know.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't know. I've done that once.
All right, boss. I'm going to suggest that we go ahead and just cut the rest, because there's another fray right here. I can see right here where it's starting to fray up. Right there. Right here, you got this long white section. Yeah, this portion has been used. So, yeah, you're at 1,327 yards. That's maybe 100 yards of braid right there. We'll cut that portion out because, I mean, you're in tournament status. I ain't trying to send you out there with any kind of anything. Potential problems. Because even if you look at the braid right here, see how it's nice and shiny?
Yeah.
And over here it's dry and old looking already.
Yeah.
It's been used, so I'd rather not even, like I said. And even then, if we're going to do that, I'm going to take it back to that knot because that's only 21 yards. And just start from there, yeah. Because then it'll be a splice knot rather than have a knot there and then 20 yards later have another knot. You know what I mean?
Alright.
Alright, guys, so to kind of give you an idea of what's happening. I found another fray over here. And it's not even 20 yards from the last one. Let me see, make sure you're on camera. Okay. So right there you can see that. I mean, it's pretty bad. So instead of leaving this knot here, I'm going to go ahead and take it back to that knot, cut the knot off, and then we're going to go and add his hollow core. But that will be after we spool up the other 80. Go and get this out of here because he is setting up for tournament status, and we definitely want to be nailing that fish instead of pink.